Hi folks, it's Elton here to help you with section 4 in your quiz review packet, graphing equations in slope-intercept form. I hope that you have a good idea of how to do this. This is one of the easier concepts that we've learned all unit. I'd like to illustrate that with a very simple equation, y equals 4x minus 7. Now, you might think that, oh, why is he giving us this example? Why is he not giving us a harder example like, y equals 2/3 x, plus 7. I want to point out that this right here, the first equation, is actually harder than this equation down here. I'll illustrate that in just a moment. But remember, whenever we graph anything in slope-intercept form, we have to recognize where these numbers are coming from. And they're coming from y equals mx plus b, where m is 4 in this case, and b is not 7, but -7. The negative actually gets included since we're adding a positive number here in our formula. I want to point out that y and x are always just y and x. They're variables. We don't actually replace them with numbers unless, of course, we're trying to find solutions to this equation, doing something with inputs and outputs. But anyways, on to graphing. What we do here, we always begin with b. We do that by looking right here in our equation and deciding, hey, what is b? And then where does it go in our coordinate plane? Obviously, b here is -7, and that goes on the y-axis at -7. So here's the y-axis. -7 is all the way down here. Graph that point correctly. Nice. And now, to graph another point, I need to now look at the slope, which is right here next to x, and I need to use this number in order to graph some more points. Now, how to use this number, and this is why this problem is a little harder than this problem down here, I need to turn this into some kind of fraction. That fraction will tell me how many up and how many over to go. In this problem, I think it's pretty clear to see that 2 is the top number, so 2 is the number that we're going up by, whereas 3, the bottom number, is how many we're going over by. Since they're both positive, I would go +2, +3, and that's where my next point would go. But this is not the correct equation, so we're not going to do that. Instead, over here, I need to use 4. But before I can use 4, I need to use a fraction equal to it. The easiest one is simply to put it over 1. So again, put whole numbers over 1. And the way we do that, I start here, I count up 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. I count over 1, and I graph the point. I can do this multiple times. I can go up 4 again and over 1. I can even go backwards. I could go -4, -1, since that is the same as 2 positives. Hopefully, after getting a few of these points, I can draw a straight line, unlike the line I just drew. Sorry about that. And that's pretty much it. There's not much else to it. You should always check yourself at the end and say, hey, was this a positive or negative slope? In this case, it's positive, so it is slanted upwards from left to right, not downwards. If you have any questions on how to do this further, I'd love to help. Just let me know. Thanks, guys.